Alright guys, it's Ian here from Gatehouse. Thanks for checking out this video. Listen, in this one I'm going to kind of trying to put everything together for you. So in the past few videos I've showed you how to find little stories on Amazon using hooks to get people interested in your writing. I've shown you how to use flexible bridges that let you mix out of a story into a relevant business point. So I thought it was worthwhile just to bring you to the computer now and show you how I would kind of put this together. I'm gonna write an email before your very eyes. Okay, let's get started. Now in this third and final video, I'm gonna let you look over my shoulder as I put all these pieces together. Now in the next few minutes I thought I'd just show you how to write an email from soup to nuts, as they say in the United States. First we'll go off and find a hook, then we'll get it on the page, and then we'll bridge out of it into a relevant point. I'm going to sit down and try and do it for you live as it happens. For your sanity, I'm going to edit this to remove any boring bits, so you'll just see the things that you can learn from. I hope that's okay with you. Okay, let's go. Now, my task today, the task I've set myself, is to let employees know about some information we've uploaded to the intranet on coaching. Basically, the company we're working with is investing quite a lot in making employees use coaching skills to develop one another. Now, with this email, we've got two objectives before we even start. Objective one is to make people read the email and go and check out the course. That's pretty obvious. Objective two is to make people pay attention to us in future. Now, in fact, we're much more interested in the second point here, making sure that people know we are someone or a department that they should pay attention to in the future. That's because a lot of people who get this message are not going to do what we want them to do anyway. The people are busy. That's just the way the world is. Some people are not interested. It might not be right for that audience. So we need to entertain them or interest them or just do something to make sure that they associate us with interesting stuff. Okay, so let's go ahead and write this email. So the first thing we need with this method is a hook. Now, you need some kind of interesting story that you can open with to make people stick around until the end. Now, I talked about that in video 1, and I showed you how to use Amazon's popular highlights feature to look for these hooks. Now, just to prove that I eat my own dog food, I've got one that I've highlighted on Amazon that I've been dying to use for a while. Let's go in and check it out now. So basically, I've got something here from a book by Tim Ferriss. The book is called The 4-Hour Body. Now, Tim is a fitness freak. He studies things with a kind of insane focus, and he wrote this best-selling book on how to hack your body and get a ripped abs and stuff with minimal effort. Now, since Tim's become famous, he says that a lot of the big business leaders in Silicon Valley, i.e. Mark Zuckerberg from Facebook, have asked him for a favor. What these guys say is that they say, look, write down everything I need to do to get a six-pack, to lose abdominal fat. Write it all down on one little bit of paper and I will do it. And basically no one ever does it. No one has ever done it. The lesson here is that people say they want advice. Even really smart people, top guys in billion-dollar companies, they say they want advice, but the problems are very rarely what you call an information problem. Usually they already know what they need to do, they're just not doing it. So I think that's quite a nice story to use as our hook here. We can bridge out of that into a message about coaching and why that is better than just telling people stuff. Now, first of all, I try and follow the 5-word rule in my writing. The 5-word rule is open your piece with 5 words. First, I'm going to try and summarize that hook that I just outlined in 5 words. And the way I would summarize it is that people suck at following advice. Now that's okay. It's not perfect, but what you have to do is resist the temptation to edit yourself. Now looking at it now, I can make it stronger by saying you suck at following advice. I'm also a bit worried that suck is too strong for this audience because kind of oral sex and stuff. But if I stop and meddle with this a little bit, I'm going to get bogged down, so I'm just going to keep moving. Okay, now I want to basically just tell the hook. So how about this? So, people suck at following advice. Ever since Tim Ferriss wrote a best-selling fitness book, several top CEOs have come to him asking for the same thing, an index card with instructions for six-pack abs. Each of them said the same thing. Just tell me exactly what to do and I'll do it. Now, you know how I said you should never edit as you go? Well, let me just tell you that not doing that is really difficult. You'll notice that I've used the same thing twice, and also I kind of feel like it takes too long to get to the action because it says, ever since Tim Ferriss wrote a best-selling business book. Like, the interesting thing here is that the top CEOs have asked him for advice and they didn't follow it. I feel like it just takes a bit of a long time to get to that. So having told you not to meddle with your own stuff, I'm going to break my own rule. Let me try and write this instead. Okay, so this is a little bit better because it's in the present, not the past. So rather than ever since, it's now in the present. So he gets asked rather than was asked. Okay, let me just get rid of that. So now it's time to tie off that story. Obviously, the twist is that they didn't do it. They asked for a neat set of instructions. They thought they needed to be told exactly what to do, and then it didn't work because, surprise, they just ignored it anyway. So let's add that. Notice we've had a few long sentences here. This one was quite long. That was fairly long. What would work nicely now is if we can sew the button on this hook with another 5-worder. Oh yeah. Okay. Number you actually do 0. Okay, that's 6 words, but I hope you can forgive me. Okay, that works. So that's the hook. All this basically is the hook. I'm just going to put a little so you can see where the hook ends. Okay, so now I'm going to bridge into my topic, the thing that I actually want to tell them. So in this case, the bridge is something to do with coaching. I need to kind of link the story I just told them here with the whole thing about coaching. So why don't we do this? Okay, a couple of things here with this bridge. Do you remember this bridge from the last video? I gave you like I told you my 5 favorite bridges, and surprise, surprise, here it is. Clearly there's an important lesson here. This is a really flexible one that I use all the time because you can bridge from any hook into any point. Secondly, notice that I haven't mentioned the coaching training yet. That comes in a minute. The bridge's job, the job of the bridge here is just to put some distance between ourselves and the hook now, and to get us to a point where we can kind of mention the call to action or the actual point of the email. Yeah, like I said with bridges, 1 or 2 lines maximum, 1 or 2 sentences maximum. Now it's time just for the point of our email, the close or the call to action. Okay, coaching is often a better way to help them achieve their potential. So this is where we're kind of doing the big reveal. This is what the email is about. It's about coaching. We're going to leave that on its own line. That's why this year Topco, that's the kind of fictional company, is making a serious commitment. Putting on my business voice now to coaching. So that's basically it. You got the hook, you got the bridge, and you got the call to action. So let's just get rid of these, clean things up a little bit. Okay, I think that does it. Now hopefully you can see how that came together. It's quite simple just to pluck a hook out of your swipe file or your kind of collection of material, stick a bridge in there, and then just write a really straightforward call to action. Alright, hey guys, now I've had a bit of feedback on this video, and just before you go, one thing people are saying is that they are kind of wondering how to deploy this in their own company. They're saying, well, this stuff is all very well, but nobody talks like that in my company. We make like industrial valves or whatever. Nobody really kind of shows up with these interesting stories and stuff, and that's actually a really common objection and a common problem that people have. So I decided to record one more video just showing you some ways that you can actually do this in your work, even if it's the most boring company in the world. In fact, even better if it's the most boring company in the world. I'll show you how you can kind of get away with this stuff at work. Okay, so the one more video coming up. I'll see you in a few days.